If your patio, balcony, or fence line has zero floor space left but you're still trying to grow herbs, strawberries, or flowers, a vertical planter is the fix. The problem is most of them fall apart, dry out too fast, or just don't hold enough soil to keep anything alive past July. I tested and researched 7 of the most popular vertical planters on the market right now, ranked worst to best. Let's start at the bottom. Number 7 is the 7-pen 36 pocket vertical planter. Same basic concept as our last pick, a felt wall panel. This one measuring 38.5 by 38 inches, but the construction details are a step up. Each of the 36 pockets measures 6 by 6 inches and extends about 3 inches outward, so you actually get more usable depth for root systems than a flat felt pocket. It also uses stainless steel eyelets with a half-inch diameter at the mounting points, which matters more than it sounds like. Cheap grommets are usually the first thing to tear out when a fully loaded, rain-soaked panel is hanging on a wall. The honest limitation is identical to our last entry: no automatic watering, and felt still needs a plastic barrier between it and any wall you actually care about, since damp fabric against siding or drywall isn't a great combination over months. It's also a 2-dimensional panel, so it only works where you have a flat vertical surface to mount to. Verdict: if you're comparing wall pocket planters specifically, the deeper pockets and steel eyelets here make this the sturdier of the 2 felt options, and it's worth the small step up for anyone planning to leave it up outdoors year-round. Before we get further up the list, there's a jump coming. We go from wall-mounted fabric into freestanding stackable towers, and the difference in how much you can actually grow is significant. Number 6 is the VIVOSUN 5-tier vertical gardening stackable planter. This is a freestanding tower built from thick PP plastic, and you're not locked into 5 tiers. VIVOSUN's design lets you stack anywhere from 2 to 5 levels depending on how much space you have. Each tier has an automatic drainage system with large leak holes, so excess water works its way down and out rather than pooling and rotting roots. That flexibility to build it shorter or taller is genuinely useful if you're working with an odd corner or a covered patio with a height limit. The catch is that this is a basic gravity drainage system, not a true self-watering design. Water passes through each tier and drains out the bottom. It doesn't get redistributed evenly to lower tiers the way some pricier towers manage it, so the bottom layers can end up drier than the top ones during hot stretches. It's also a plastic tower, so in direct summer sun for years on end, fading is a realistic long-term expectation. Verdict: this is a solid, adjustable entry point into stackable vertical gardening, especially if you like the idea of scaling the height up or down, but budget for more frequent watering checks on the lower tiers than you'd need with a dedicated self-watering system. Number 5 is the Worth Garden 3-pack self-watering vertical wall planters. This flips us back to a wall-mounted format, but with an actual automated watering system built in. The kit gives you 3 modular units, each with 3 pockets, for 9 total planting spots, made from a durable propene polymer that's rated for both indoor and outdoor use. The standout feature is the 9-foot hose that connects to a standard American tap and drips water into the top 6 pockets, which then flows down to the rows below, so you're not hand-watering 9 separate openings every few days. The honest catch is that 9 pockets is a modest footprint compared to the wall panels we just covered, so if you're trying to cover a large fence or wall, you'll need to buy multiple kits and combine them, which adds up. The drip system also needs an actual outdoor spigot within hose range to work as intended. Without that, you're back to manual watering anyway. Verdict: for a small balcony or a compact vertical herb setup where you want real automated watering without a huge installation, this earns its spot. Just know the coverage per kit is small. Number 4 is the GameXcel Vertical Planter Tower 5-tier with wheels. This is a stackable tower that solves a problem none of our earlier picks address: mobility. It sits on 4 lockable swivel wheels, so if your plants need to chase the sun around a patio through the day, you can actually roll the whole tower instead of lifting it. Each tier is built with a patented soil holding board that creates airflow gaps between layers, which GameXcel states is designed to prevent root rot by keeping water from just sitting against the soil. Each tier holds about 0.11 cubic feet of soil, which is on the smaller side per layer, so this leans more towards strawberries, herbs, and small flowering plants than anything with a deeper root system. The catch is that smaller per-tier soil volume. In peak summer heat, shallow soil beds like this dry out fast, so you're watering more often than you would with a deeper tiered tower. The wheels are also a plastic-on-plastic mechanism, so on rough or uneven patio surfaces, they won't roll as smoothly as they do on a flat garage floor. Verdict: if mobility for sun chasing is a priority for your setup, the wheeled design is a genuine practical advantage. Just plan on more frequent watering to offset the shallower tiers. Number 3 is the Mr. Stacky large 5-tier vertical gardening planter. This is a heavy-duty option, built from 5 stacking planters that are each 18 inches in diameter, assembling into a tower that's 16 by 16 by 38 inches, with 64 quarts of total soil capacity. That's a meaningfully larger soil volume than most of the stackable towers on this list, which means better moisture retention and more room for root systems to actually spread out. It's made in the USA, and Mr. Stacky's design lets you water only the top planter, which then filters down through the stack to the tiers below. The catch here is size and weight. Once this thing is filled with 64 quarts of soil, it is not something you're casually relocating without wheels, since this particular configuration doesn't include a rolling base. You're also committing to a fairly large footprint at 16 inches across, so it needs a dedicated spot rather than a corner squeeze. Verdict: for anyone who wants real soil volume and durability over cheap materials and doesn't mind the tower staying in one place, this is one of the more substantial builds on the list. Number 2 is the VECELO 5-tier vertical garden planter, self-watering, with wheels. This one combines two things our earlier picks handled separately: real mobility and genuine moisture management, into a single tower. It sits on wheels for repositioning, has a base tray that VECELO describes as providing 3-point support for stability, while also catching excess runoff, and each tier includes a soil separator that's designed to keep soil in place, while still allowing water to drain through cleanly rather than pooling. That combination of drainage plus stability tray addresses two of the most common complaints with cheaper stackable towers: tipping on uneven ground and rot from trapped water, in one design. The honest limitation is that VECELO doesn't publish a soil capacity figure or dimensions as clearly as some competitors, so you're trusting the tier design more than a specific number. And this is still a lighter-duty plastic build compared to the heavier gauge tower we just covered. Verdict: if you want the convenience of wheels and the peace of mind of a proper drainage system without stepping up to a full raised bed, this is a well-rounded, middle-of-the-road pick that punches above its stackable tower category. We're closing in on the top 2 now, and this next stretch is where the list shifts away from stackable towers entirely into 2 very different, purpose-built systems. One is a full standing garden bed, and the other 2 are the most established name in this whole category. Number 1 is the Outland Living 4FT Vertical Raised Garden Bed, 5-tier. This isn't a stacking tower at all. It's a freestanding steel-framed structure with 5 individual planter boxes mounted at staggered heights. And Outland Living states it delivers 10 lineal feet of actual gardening space within just 6 square feet of floor footprint. Each hanging box measures 22 inches. Giving you real room to grow multiple plants per tier, rather than the shallow single-plant pockets you get with stacking towers. Assembly doesn't require power tools, and the boxes are removable individually, so you can pull one out to repot or clean without disturbing the rest of the structure. Some Amazon buyers specifically point to how easy the boxes are to lift out for maintenance, and several mention it working well on small patios for herb gardens. The catch is that this is the largest, heaviest structure on the list by a wide margin. It needs real floor space and a flat, stable surface, so it's not going anywhere near a small apartment balcony the way our wall-mounted picks can. Verdict: for anyone with actual yard, patio, or greenhouse space who wants a proper raised bed growing experience in a vertical footprint instead of a stack of small pockets, this is the most serious gardening tool on this list. So here's how to actually pick from this list. If you're working with a bare fence or wall and want maximum coverage for minimal cost, go with the Ogremar or 7-pen felt panels. If you want a small, self-watering wall setup without a big installation, the Worth Garden Kit is your pick. If you want a genuine full-size raised garden bed and you have the floor space, the Outland Living is the most serious tool here. And if you want the best all-around vertical planter with the most reliable watering system on the market, get the Greenstock, the 5-tier original if you want more depth per pocket, or the 7-tier Leaf if you want the most total growing space. Drop a comment with which one matches your setup, and if this saved you from buying the wrong planter, subscribe for more grow space breakdowns like this one.